Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are live with me, your coach, Carla Nicole. So today we are going to have a conversation about just getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. Okay. This is not easy because in life, there's going to be some majors where things are going to get difficult, they're going to get tough, and they're going to get hard sometimes. Problem is, a lot of times we don't talk about the fact that if it's difficult or tough, um, we will find that we want certain things out of life, we desire certain things, but the problem is we don't really know how to handle when things get tough and uncomfortable. Please tell me where you are. Please share the video and let me know if you can hear me okay. Those are the first, let's get the first things done first. So I'm not going this whole time and you can't hear me. So let me know you can hear me okay. And I strongly suggest that you bring your notebook. I have mine. Bring your notebook because it's very important that you have a notebook in place so that you can take notes. I'm giving a lot of skinny today about how important it is to get comfortable in your uncomfortable situations. Okay? So let's get ready. I hope you guys are ready. Okay? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Coach Carla Nicole. If you don't know who I am a coach, full-time coach, and I do make sure to provide intricate ways to heal your life. Okay? And let me just tell you, it hasn't been an easy journey for me either. So, I've had my own financial struggles, my own marital problems, and in and out of divorce, and I've been a mama of two children. So I've had my stuff, okay? But in that, I want you to understand that it's not always easy, but it's a little tough sometimes. So I just want you guys to understand, listen, I'm human. Yes, I'm a coach. Yes, I am someone that makes sure to give you ways to fix what you have going on. But the most important part of what I am going to give you are the tools to help you get past it. So again, please share the video. Please share and talk to me. I don't like to just talk at people. I like people to give me feedback. Tell me where you're at, what's going on in your life, because this is not just about me. Yes, I have my own stuff, but I really want to help heal. And this is the whole point of me doing the wisdom show. The wisdom show is to really help to heal people and your stuff. I know you got stuff going on, but I want you to understand that this show is to be interactive. It's not just about me, it's about us and how we can grow. Yes, I'm a coach, but I'm also always a student of life. So you may have something going on that I can learn from, or that I can give you tools to fix, how to heal it, how to get out of the funk you're in. Okay? Let me just tell you this. The hardest part about life is that when we're dealing with some type of tragedy, some type of unbelievable mess up or crazy, we have to first work on us first. Okay? So just remember, it's not easy to go through this. But in this human experience, I'm telling you now, you're going to have stuff that's going to happen. Just period, point blank. It is going to happen. Okay? So just understand that. So let's first start off about why do we find ourselves more burdened when things aren't going our way. Well, the first thing is the challenge of life is that when we go through problems, we become the problem. And what I mean by becoming the problem, we have a tendency to get into a space in our head where there's no way out. So I want you to first write this down. This is very essential. Write down that there is always a way out of something. So I want you to understand why this is important. Because a lot of times when we have something going wrong, something going awry, something bad happens, the first thing we think is there's no way out. I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can't figure out how to even wrap my mind around a solution to this. This is so massive. This is so big. It's not. And like Daly said, thanks, Dave, that there's always a way out. Okay. But you have to first get okay in the uncomfortability of what is going on. I'm going to use as an example, even if it's like financial, because financial is always something that can happen to all of us. So, say for instance, financially, you have a really bad plunge, a really bad mess up, something's really going wrong, and you're just not happy. Everything's gone wrong. Financially, you've taken a hit. We'll just say you had maybe 2 or 3 things hit you right before you were financially able to financially deal with it. First and foremost, do not make that whole situation there be the problem. First, take one at a time. So write this down. Take one issue at a time. If you make stuff so massive, it's harder to fix it when you have so many things on your plate. So, and Daylise is a client, so she knows. I will have you to compartmentalize the huge big thing that you're dealing with versus, okay, we have all these problems. When you get into this space in our head that we have so many problems, you have so many problems, it's so big, it's so much, you can't wrap your mind around the solution. So I want you to stop and think for a second. No, that's not always the case. We might have one thing happen and then the next thing happens and then the next thing happens and you're thinking, this is too much. This is too much. Stop and think about, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3 issues going on. Rather than trying to allow all of these things or challenges to overtake my peace, let me walk away from it and let me compartmentalize which one I have to deal with first. So first of all, prioritize which one is the most important and requires your attention the most in first. So think about that. Which one is it? Because when you sit down and think about that, it helps you to now, rather than making this be a huge issue, it is now one at a time where you can start to figure this is what I need to work on. Okay? So write down, if there's a massive amount of issues, please write down which issue goes where. What is it that I have going on? And in that, which one is it that I need to focus on first? Okay. So here's what I had going on, and I'll just share because I'm not too proud to say. So I had a vehicle issue. I don't have a car. I DoorDash for partial for financial stability. So I DoorDash. So I don't have a vehicle, and now I don't have a way to do my dashing because of course I had a car issue. So no more car. Then I had to think about some financial things that came up because one of my rental properties had a issue. And what that means is I had to come up with a large amount of money to take care of my renters. So now I'm having to figure out, what am I going to do? No vehicle. I got to get them some hot water because the hot water heater went out. And now I have to figure out, what am I going to do to get income in here for me? So now the reason why I'm sharing is so you can see that I'm human too and I have my own stuff. I'm showing you how I prioritized. Some of my clients are having a little hard time. Some of them have been hacked. Some of them have had issues. So my clients have had some financial bear weight on them. So they can't pay their subscription. Okay, so now we're a little tight over here too. So now I'm like, okay, rental, no car, clients are having a hard time financially. What do I do first? How do I handle this? I have to make now a quick decision on which one I handle first. Also, I have to come up with some money for someone else. There's another payment that's also due. So now, what's the first thing that happens when something goes off? If we have challenges, the first thing that happens is the fear inside our being. We start having a fear, a panic. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just all over the place. So, in order to reduce down the fear, the frustration, the terrifying feelings, the panic, like Daly said, all of these things are going on. How do we calm the panic? What am I going to do now? So, what I did was I decided, okay, let me fix what I can first. I can be inconvenienced. What I mean by that is my survivor skills are on a different level. Not everybody can be a survivor. Not everybody came from that. So I can put myself, if you don't mind me saying, I can put myself on the back burner for a minute and tend to the tenants that maybe can't handle not having hot water, as an example. Okay. I can do without for a little bit to get them some hot water. In that, I'm saying sometimes we have to step back and look at, well, wait a minute. What's the priority? Get them their hot water. So now I have to come up with who to use. And of course, this is not a very inexpensive house issue. They're not inexpensive. They are very expensive normally. And then there's all kinds of guidelines and stuff. So I had to come up with, how am I supposed to fix this? Well, I did have some backup cash just in case, and I had some things I had in place. So I was like, well, let me talk to and make an agreement with the gentleman to install it for me and let him know that I am about my word and I will pay you, but I need you to work with me here. This is a high expense. Are you willing to work with me? And I'm willing to work with you. Came up with an arrangement. Mind you, I'm still on pause for my own stuff, but I'm dealing with how do I fix it with them and get them together. Because again, we got to go back to what's my state of being and how can I handle when things are going wrong? How can I deal with, oh my God, a frustration or an inconvenience? My life skills is a little different. I don't have to have a full refrigerator. I can be okay. Not everybody is like that. So I had to be mindful of that. So what I decided to do was take care of it. Was that financially heavy? Yes, but I made sure to make sure they were good. So now my 3 or 4 major issues going on at once is now reduced down to now just 3 issues, which is about me now. So now I'm in this, okay, they're good. What's next? So now, in this is very important. I want you guys to also write down that it's important that we focus on how we do with decision making. Most of our problems is we rely too much on someone else to make decisions for us. What I mean by that is, ladies, if you're in a relationship with a husband or a man, or you have a gentleman or someone you rely on, I want you to please start using your own mind and making major decisions for yourself. Because of, here's something that's important. When you're in a relationship with a man and you start to get lazy minded and say to yourself, oh, he makes all the major decisions. Oh, I just ask him, or he's going to take care of it. Okay, but what are you going to do if his health fails? What are you going to do if he passes on? What are you going to do if he cannot make a decision, or he has a health issue that no longer allows his mind to be clear? You are now going to have to figure out things on your own. So therefore, I'm speaking to the ladies now. I want you guys to think about, how do I improve my own personal decision making? And how you do that is by using your problem solving skills and learning how to problem solve on your own. And the first way to do that is to first learn how to sit down and prioritize what major challenges or issues that come in your life, what happens to them. And then you have to learn how to navigate and come up with ways to determine and prioritize. This is the number one way to improve and ensure that you're not always full of anxiety. You're ahead of the drama. You're ahead of the curve with all the things going on. You don't have to feel like, oh my God, I'm so overly burdened. You're not, because now you're able to make decisions. When you're making decisions, guess what that does to you in your psyche, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, in your body? Your body is now rejuvenating because you're using brain cells. You're learning how to think about things. You're learning how to fix things. You're learning how to make decisions. And that's key for any type of real issue in life. The number one thing is to learn how to problem solve, to figure things out. Most people will die because they die too early because they can't think. They can't focus. They can't even make things make sense. This is because it's too much. They take on issues, challenges, things that they're unaware of, home repairs, car repairs. Everything is a burden for them. And it shouldn't be. It's life. Things are going to happen. That's just what it is. So we have to stop being so overwhelmed and start getting more assertive with learning how to problem solve, learning how to make decisions, and learning them quick. Don't take all day to make a quick decision. The quicker you learn how to problem solve, the better you are on having a more joyful life. See, when you have problems like what I had, a lot of people would collapse, go into a depression, think of all the things that's wrong with their life. And oh my God, I wish I had this. Oh my God, I can't have that. Well, yeah, but it's you now. Lights on. Stadium lights are on. So are you going to be able to figure this out? Or are you going to be burdened and in a high stress? And your heart rate's going to go up and your stress level is going to go up. And then your health is going to go down. You got to get beyond that. You got to think about, well, what do I need to do to fix this? You fix it by being ahead of it. You become ahead of it when you stop worrying. Worry comes from fear. Fear, honey, babies, lovelies, men, fear. So we can't make clear decisions when we're constantly in a ponder or in a wonder if something's going to be good or bad. So we have to sit back and say, okay, how can I fix this? Well, you can fix it by changing it, by learning, okay, I can get to a better level if I start to take more practice and focus on problem solving. Stop caving every time something goes wrong in your life. That's the number one problem. We cave to it. Everything's a shambles and my life is this and my life is that. No, it's life. Everything we go through to grow through. That's why. We go through something to grow through something. And I always say, yes, I am a coach. And yes, I've gone through things and had challenges and life experiences, but I have to. I can't coach nothing if I haven't been through nothing. I can't be a solid, dope ass mother if I don't know anything about mothering, if I don't know anything about problem solving, if I can't manage my emotions, how am I supposed to manage my children? How am I supposed to manage my grandson? How am I supposed to manage my clients? I can't if I don't know anything about how to manage my life. And in doing this, you have to sit back and look at, wait a minute, what do I need to do to problem solve? How can I fix this? Okay? Hope y'all writing this down because I'm giving you some raw truths today, baby. Giving you some raw truths and helping you to see how important it is to really sit down and realize that in this lifetime, it's not always easy. But when you learn the challenges that come thereafter, you're sharper on them because you know how to fix it now. And then, or you're a source. Guess what happens? When you go through something and you have a friend or a family member or a coworker or a stranger even going through something, guess what? They can be telling you the story and you already have the solution because you've been through it. See, my biggest thing I say all the time, I'm a coach, yes, but I was my first client. I was a mess. I was an absolute mess. Everything was in shambles and oh my God, and this and that. But at the end of the day, we have to sit down and realize that when we go through challenges and when we go through things, we're supposed to grow through them. Okay, so when you grow, you start to know and you learn. Here's what's very important. I don't think enough people think about this. We should always study. That's a part of the SMILE mantra if you haven't known. I created a mantra called SMILE. It stands for study, meditate, inspire, laugh, and elevate every day. And the truth of the matter is, in order to get past the frustration, get past the aggravation or agitation, or even getting past the heaviness of challenges or unexpected events, we have to study. See, here's what's true. We lessen our frustration and our aggravation in life when we start to sit down and realize that, okay, if I'm a little more aware of how to fix things when they aren't in good standing or need fixed, I know how to fix it. Then you start to realize, okay, you know what? Because I am aware of how to fix things, my stressors that do come up aren't as crazy as they would be if I knew nothing about it. Let me say something to you. Here's what's important. I in my lifetime have had cars since I was about 19. And I'm not an expert at all with cars. Let me just say, and I've had my share of them. But I want to tell you this. What's important is that I will do this. I do know how important it is to start maintaining the cars, checking the transmission fluid, making sure the oil is changed, checking the rotors and the brakes and pads and things like that. So I know those things; those are basics. But outside of knowing about them, I also maintain them because I don't want to have a bunch of car problems. I just don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. So because I love myself, I realize that a part of loving myself is to keep my stressors to a minimum. I realize it's very important for me to love myself by reducing my stressors, making sure that I'm not always all over the place because of whatever's going on. I'm always everywhere else, or I've got this going on and got that going on. No, I don't have to do that. When I start to realize you need to have certain things in place because you know that if you don't, you're going to have high stress. You're going to have um, higher heart rate. You're going to be in anxiety. You're not going to rest well. You're not going to sleep. You're not going to have any type of calmness in your soul and spirit. And all of that affects my health, as does yours. I'm not in the minority. We're human. So when we have all this stress and all these things we don't put in place to to strive not to have things that can be avoided, we understand that if we're not on top of these things, it will become a problem. Ignore your car needing maintenance. Ignore it if you want. And you're going to see, oh my gosh, my car is a mess. Oh my gosh, I need this replaced and that replaced. And then when they talk to you, the mechanics talk to you and tell you, hey, if you would have gotten this done earlier, you could have avoided this. If you would have gotten your prime example, if you would have got your brake pads done beforehand, your rotors wouldn't have been needing replaced. And rotors, of course, are more expensive than brake pads, as an example. So again, we have to be mindful of how we can avoid all these negatives. Um, and how we can do that is by prevention. Write that down. Prevention. In our life, there's many areas that um, we can actually reduce stressors. And the first one is by having preventative measures put in place. When we do preventative measures, we actually are showing ourselves that we love ourselves. We love ourselves because we care about being preventative. When we prevent ourselves from all kind of stressors, we actually are doing something that is beyond words. It's actually helping us to live a livelier life, to live in more joy and smile more. We're having more excitement because we're not always burdened by our stuff that we can avoid if we would pay better attention to what we can do to avoid certain things becoming a problem and an issue. But we can't ever really look at it because we're constantly saying, oh, but I don't have to do this, or I don't really want to do that. Well, no, we don't want to change transmission fluid in our vehicles because it's costly. But don't change it and see how much a replacement of a transmission is. You think that's costly, try that on for size. It's a whole nother animal. And sometimes it ruins the whole vehicle and you have no car at all. So sometimes we have to sit down and look at the preventative measures to take so that we can stop being so bombarded with misery. And the misery comes from our lack of focus of how we can fix things, how we can prepare for things, how we can change things. See, in this lifetime, we get a lot of chances. But I don't know if you guys remember the movie The Groundhog Day. If you can remember, Groundhog Day is it's a very powerful movie. The reason why the movie is powerful is it shows you that something that keeps coming up in your life over and over and over again, and over again, you'll start to see you are eating the heck out of these. But you got a little fever, so I'll let you do that. When when you keep having something show up in your life over and over and over again, you have to take a pause and step back and say, why does this keep showing up? 9 times out of 10 it's showing up because of something that you're not doing. And of those 3 things that I mentioned, you're not doing them. You're not preventing. You're not preparing. And you're not admitting to yourself that this is what you need to do to avoid this from happening. You're not making clear decisions. You're making decisions that are either hasty or not good decisions. And then guess what happens when you make decisions that are not solid, clear, concise decisions? What happens is we find ourselves making decisions that are on the surface of looking good. But once we get down into the nitty gritty, it's not. It's more sad that we're making decisions that's really not beneficial. Okay? So again, a lot of these situations that we have going on can be minimized when we start to prioritize them. That's the first and foremost thing to do. You want to prioritize and see, what can I do to fix this now? And if not now, the quickest. And if, like I told you earlier, when you are not sure if you're a survivor or not, then it's going to test you. Life is going to test you to see what your survivor skills are looking like. If they're not looking too good, that's something you need to work on. Again, survivor skills are so important. We have to learn how to prioritize, like Daylise is typing there. We got to make sure that we are making sure of our ways to see, what can I do to not have all this burden for yourself. That's a part of self-loving. But outside of self-loving, we also have to make sure that whatever we have going on in our life can't be so burdening that we can't enjoy life. We can't smile because we got something going on. Lost my job, lost my house, lost my cars, lost my, my credit, lost a bank account, lost this, lost that. If all you talk about is what you lost, you're never going to be in a fulfilled space. Things happen. Yes. All of those things can happen. Yes. However, the best way to get past all that heaviness and all that griping and all that misery is to finally sit down and say, wait a minute, you know what? Yes, I lost my house. Yes, I lost my job. Yes, I lost my bank account. Yes, I lost this. Yes, I lost that, but I'm still here. So let me, rather than being so heavy on what I lost, let me be in gratitude This is my final thing that I want to share with you. I take a shower. I call it my serenity shower. And it really upgrades my sadness and my frustration. If I'm ever really heavily burdened, I realize now that I have to turn and say, okay, I might be frustrated in this right now. This may be a challenge. This may be a setback. I may have lost something or someone, but I'm still here. So if I'm still here, then the best thing for me to do is to be in gratitude. So what I do is I get in the shower. And when I step in the shower, I'll say, I am negative right now. And since I'm negative, I want to step in the shower and I want to transform my negativity. So as soon as I step in the shower, I tell myself and I tell the spirit and I meditate and say, I'm stepping my foot in the shower negative. But when I step out of the shower, I'm going to be positive. And I'm going to leave that shower in a whole different space. And all of the negativity that's in my being, through my scalp and everything else, all the water goes through my scalp all the way down. I want all of that negativity to be washed away and gone down the drain. That's my serenity shower. And that's what I do when I feel heavy, negative, upset, angry, disappointed, hurt. I've learned that that really works. It really helps to get physically rid of all that negativity, because anything can be fixed. We just have to stop, look, and listen and pay attention to how do we fix it. But let me also give you a bonus. When you problem solve and you really take the time to learn how to problem solve, your problems are easier solved because of practice of solving them. Okay, so when you practice solving your problems, you realize that these problems that are seem so huge and so massive become minuscule because you've done it before. We have to practice problem solving. We have to practice making quick decisions. And in doing that, it helps us to say, oh my God, I'm more confident now. When challenges show up, I'm not terrified. I'm not scared. I'm not afraid. And then guess what happens now? You're in gratitude because you're like, man, a situation happened and now I'm cool. Even though it's a challenge, it's something I got to deal with. But I've had so much practice and I've had so many times that I've had to make tough decisions that now I'm confident in my decisions. And now I'm getting more confident in them. I might still have someone I check in with. What do you think? And get expert advice, because we can't always make all decisions. Sometimes we have to get expert advice. And we also have to realize where we're solid in. What good decisions am I good at? Okay, I might not be too good on this decision, so let me go to this person because they have some level of expertise. That's also a decision, though. I have to be able to be honest with me. You know dang on well you don't know nothing about cars. So why would you sit here and act like, oh, I know, when you don't know? So if I know I don't know, let me go to a mechanic or let me go to someone that's got some expertise on cars and have them to help me to make a decision. That again comes from decision making. So I also need to know when I need to pull back and say, this isn't where I know, or this isn't my space of knowing here. So let me go to someone who maybe does know. It will help me to help make a better decision. I hope I helped someone today. Like I said, this is very important. A lot of times our stress, our frustration, our disappointments all stems from our lack of really knowing what we need to do. And like I said, share the video, make sure you understand what I'm saying. Go back and watch this again because it's a lot to really retain, but it also is something you can use today. As your coach, I don't play. I don't give you stuff that you can't use. Anytime you're in my space or you're a client with me, I'm going to give you something you can use right now. I don't wait and give you half answers. And if I don't know, I'll tell you, I don't really know that one, but I'll get back with you and give you the answers. It's about solutions. That's what life is. It's about solutions, but everything in our life is going to require us to make a decision. And if we're not very solid on decision making, then we need to be honest with self and get some help, or start to practice and get more solid on making decisions. Because what that does is that really helps you to pursue a better, more fruitful life. And mind you, your life becomes more solid the more decisions you make. I'm just saying. So I'm your coach. I'm really glad you guys are here. Like I said, make sure you share the video. Again, it is important and very, 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 very awesome that you were here to stay with me and hang with me. Again, I just wanted you to know it's not easy, but we can really get to a different level when we bypass always being so frustrated with problems. Solve them. You won't feel so burdened when you solve your problems. The problem is, a lot of times we have problems and we let it just bear all this weight all over us. We just, oh my God, I have all these problems. No, you don't. If you have a challenge or something that comes up, that's fine, but pay attention to how you can fix it. It's not hard to do. Take your time. Don't just start jumping and feeling overwhelmed. The problem is, like I said earlier, we don't know how to prioritize what challenge or what problem we need to deal with first. If you don't know how to do it, then learn. Stop being lazy minded and pay attention to how you can figure out things and figure out how to get it right. See, the problem is we don't sit down and trust self enough. We spend a lot of time, oh, I know, and you don't know. Okay? You don't know. So what you need to do is sit down and realize, okay, there's some things I don't know for real. So what I need to do is let me look at my challenges, whichever they are. Like I told you, I had all those challenges going on for me, and I didn't sit back and get crazy, but I did say, well, wait a minute, what can I fix first? And it really, I'm telling you, because it was overwhelming, it was a lot. It really helped to ease my outrage. It helped to ease me getting frustrated or nasty or upset. Here's what's true: when we have challenges like this that come up, we have a tendency to not realize that in our challenges, okay, we grow from them. The more we learn, and the better off we come out of a situation, the better we are with dealing with anything that comes from that point forward, because we're learning how to ease our mind, how to get more empowered. It's not hard. We have to sit down and be like, this is not easy. No, it's not. But who said it's going to be easy? Who told us who said life was easy? Who said that? We haven't been told that it's easy. We just want to think it is. No, we can't just live and completely just get all caught up in just being lazy minded and relying on other people to make decisions and stuff. That won't work. Okay? It just won't work. Like I said, you can come and get with me because, oh, I meant to tell you too, May, I'm running a special. So if you guys really want the help, I'm running a coaching special, 30 minutes with me for just $19. Um, And if you have something really bothering you, really hurting you, literally call my office. My office number is 844-5 Wisdom extension, and my extension is 0. So you can get a hold to me. Or you can even text that number, which is 844-5 Wisdom. You can text that number um, and just do a hashtag to me, the Wisdom Show, so I'll know where you're coming from, and then I can help to schedule your appointment. It's $19. And you know as much as I do, $19 to change your trajectory, to get you on a better track, is nothing. It's very simple to do. And our one-on-ones will be on a Zoom call, and we'll talk about what you got going on. And like I said, I'm very big about assisting you in getting the peace. Peace comes when you can get some solutions. Peace comes when you can figure out, oh, I don't have to be burdened. That's what peace is when you're not burdened by stuff. That's just what it is. So make sure to share this video. Like I said, please share with me where you're at, what state you're at. Make sure you can hear me okay. Make sure you are good. Because again, I want you guys to understand it's not easy, but it doesn't have to be hard either. And you can also book me. I meant to tell you too. You can book me on my website. It's smileandsip.com. Type just it's spelled just the way it sounds. Smileandsip.com. Okay. Make sure you, like I said, you can reach out to me at the 800 number at my office, or you can text me, or you can reach out to the website. But again, you know, I'm your coach. I know it was difficult to really kind of follow, but I would strongly suggest you watch this again, because it's going to give you so much clarity on if you do have challenges, problems, or something you're not ready for that comes up in life. This will give you how to kind of compartmentalize it and then figure out how you can rise above the burden, so you don't have to feel like, oh, as soon as something goes bad, so does my attitude. I'm just saying, because I used to have that problem. I used to go way left, plunge right into the toilet whenever I didn't get something going in a positive. My attitude would be on a negative, so it was never good. So like I'm saying, I'm trying to help y'all out. Just like I said, you can call me, you can text me, or you can reach out to the website. Like I said, it's called the Coach 19 Sessions. And this month, like I said, May, I'm going to do that special for you all, so that you can get the coaching you need, and at least get you in the right direction, so you can get a better result. Okay. I'm so glad you were here. It's your coach, Carla Nicole. You guys have a good evening. Good night. Thanks for joining. Bye. Best kept.